I just showed them, oh, I've got goosebumps, both from the bands playing and from hearing you guys sing the national anthem. Every year, you guys start out, and you guys are singing, and you're not sure. By the end of the week, you're belting it out, and I can hear the pride. And it's really touching to those of us on stage who can hear that and experience it, and I appreciate that. A little bit of housekeeping, parents. I've left some of my cards out on the front table if anyone needs to contact me. Our contact information for myself, Director Walton, Assistant Director Jim Davis, all the staff are on our website and in your packets. Each of your contact information is in there. Keep in touch with each other. Parents, thank you for giving us your sons this week. I hope you're proud of them because we are. They've had a very intense week. They've met quite a few instructors. They've learned a lot about government. They've heard some of the best guest speakers in the state. They were treated to Coach Stewart and Tony Caridi from the WVU, and it's been a good week. They've been attentive, they've been polite, they're gentlemen, and we're very proud of them, and we're honored to have been a part, we're honored to have had them as part of Mountaineer Boys State. We thank you for giving them to us for the week. Citizens of Mountaineer Boys State, I want to give you a challenge. We've been telling you all week that you're the leaders, and you are. We believe that. We believe that in our hearts, or we wouldn't be doing this program. So we want to challenge you to go back to your schools and go back to your communities and be the leaders that we know you are. And you don't have to go and run for public office. Just be leaders by example. This fall, when you're at your high school football games, they always play the national anthem. Don't be afraid to stand there and put your hand over your heart at attention, even if your buddies are beside you carrying on. You've got two choices at that instance. You can either be the leader and stand there with your hand over your heart and show the respect that you know that the flag and the anthem deserves. Or you can succumb to your buddies' pressures and be afraid that they're going to make fun of you and carry on and laugh about you doing that. But let me tell you what will happen. If you be the leaders and you stand there, the next week, maybe 2 or 3 others will do it. Then the next week, 2 or 3 others will do it, and a few parents will do it too. And it'll spread. That's what leadership is, leading by example. Let them see through you what it's like to be a leader. You can do it. Go back to your communities. Register to vote. If you're going to be 18 by the election this November, you can register to vote now. Otherwise, as soon as you turn 18, register and vote. People say, oh, the superdelegates are going to make a choice. Why do I need to vote? My vote doesn't count. Well, I guarantee you your vote does count. There's a lot of local and county and city races, or state races, that are decided by just a few votes. And I speak from experience. In 1982, when I was 23 years old, 6 years older than what you guys are now, I ran for the House of Delegates in my home county. And I won my election by 8 votes. 5 people changing their minds could have made a difference. In that same county, a friend of mine just won her race for county commission by 5 votes. 3 people changing their mind could have made a difference. Your vote counts. Voting is a right. Voting is powerful. A few years ago, we hear about whether or not we should be in Iraq and, whether or not they want us there. But, they had their first election, their first free democratic election. And people were risking their lives so that they can do what we take for granted, and that was to go to the polls and vote. You don't have to risk your lives to go to the polls. You just go. You register and you go. But it's very powerful. It's a very powerful statement. And people listen to those that vote. You guys can make a difference. And if you, the leaders, register and vote and go back and tell your high school classmates, they'll do the same thing. Go to your city councils and your county commissions and just sit in on their meetings, see what they do. Some of them are as boring as watching paint dry. But but they make a difference. They set budgets. They decide who gets money. They decide who gets projects. They decide who gets things done. And if you're there, they pay attention. They want to know why you're there. something that I've tried to do the last few years. The young men from Kanawha County will be hearing from me, because our county commission opens up their meetings with the Pledge of Allegiance. And they invite different people from the community to come in and lead the pledge. And so I always try to get some of the Boy Staters from Kanawha County sometime after your break's over, maybe when you're back in school, to come down on a Thursday and wear your Boy State shirts and lead the Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Shores, who's one of our county commissioners, was governor here in 1949. And so he will be the commissioner that sponsors the Boy Staters. But you don't have to wait on someone to call you. Just call your commission up and ask, do you have the Pledge of Allegiance? Some of my guys from Boy State, my buddies and I that went to Boy State, we'd like to come down and lead that. That way they know that you're the leaders. So I issue that challenge. Go back to your communities. Talk about Boy State. You know, those of you that ordered the DVD, you can still order it online. It's got our 1962 video on it. It's got our 2005 or 2004 video that was done, WU did for us. There's just some tools. If you got a speech class and you got to prepare a speech, we got one in there for you. Go in and talk about Boy State. You don't know if that might make a difference to someone and how that might make a difference to this program. You know why I came to Boy State in 1976? Because the young man that went a year ahead of me had to give a speech in speech class. And he brought his shirt and photographs and newspapers and talked about Boy State. And I said, hey, I want to do that. And I told my guidance counselor I wanted to do that, and I got to come back to Boy State. And I got to sit out there where you guys are, and I got to hear interesting speakers. I got to be a part of this program. So yes, you can make a difference. Be the leaders. We're very proud of you. Again, thank you for being here this week. You've been a great bunch of guys. Of the 31 Boy States that I've been to, you guys have made us very proud. And I thank you. Godspeed on your way home. Have a great summer. And again, I challenge you. Be the leaders. Thank you.